Cali Cartel and Medellin Cartel are hesitant about harming a DEA agent is because they knew. Remember what I talked to you about that rule earlier? We won't kill you if you don't kill us unless it's a situation where violence occurs. They realized that if they killed an agent, they would undercome the wrath of the government 10 times stronger than it already was. And that's what happened with Kiki Camarena. They have not stopped that investigation to this day.
Well, I assume you know some of the background there as far as like why that might not be getting fully solved or fully litigated.
I've watched that documentary too, and there's a lot of different angles we could take off of that. And let's not go there today. But I will tell you that there are some allegations there was corruption. I don't quite believe that with the agent, number one.
Is there a way to deny that the guy who was torturing him and for people who aren't familiar with the story of Kiki Camarena, he was a DEA agent working in Mexico in the 80s. He was abducted, tortured, and then killed by the cartels. And that's the very truncated, short way of putting it. But I forget maybe it was something Rodriguez or Jose something, but there was
Felix
Rodriguez. That's it. The man who tortured him, I think he was doing the torturing in the safe house, which he was then killed, was revealed to be a CIA asset. Is there anything to deny that?
I have watched the same thing, and what I did when Kiki was killed, it was I was a brand new agent. And so I wasn't in Mexico, but obviously you learn the story over and over and over and over, and you study it and you're educated about it, and you learn from that case. And that story came out about the CIA operative that supposedly tortured him, and that CIA operative has denied it many, many times over. I don't know. I can tell you this. Remember that senior officer, that agent that told me, I'm assigning you to the SWAT team because I want you to create the SWAT team? And he's in that special. He's one of the people that believe that theory, that there was something wrong. And I've never talked to him about it since. I've lost touch with the gentleman. But, well, what I did was I'd never heard of that CIA operative. I Googled it and I read all about the guy as well. And I hear he denies it. And I hear he's been honored by presidents and all that stuff. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Part of that allegation is that the head of the DEA office in Guadalajara was crooked, and that tipped off the cartel as to where Kiki was and all that. The agent's name was, I believe, Kirkendall.
Yes.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt the head of the Mexican office, Guadalajara resident office, tipped off the cartel as to where Kiki Camarena was going to be at a given time, so he could be kidnapped, brutalized, tortured for several days. Two or three other people died during that as well, and his body was dumped. I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Part about the CIA operative torturing him, that's a whole nother story. That's not saying the DEA guy operated with the CIA guy. That's fair. And was that CIA guy there? I don't know. I have no idea. Could it have happened? Absolutely. But do I believe? I would bet a paycheck or two or three that Kirkendall was a very honest guy. I would not.
You didn't know him personally, though, right?
Kirkendall, I might have met him sometime over the years, because keep in mind, I was a young 20s. And he's a senior agent. He's probably well into his 80s by now.
I think he was also an advisory producer on Narcos Mexico. I'll check that. But
okay.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. But the other part of it, the CIA operative, if he was operating and working with the cartel at that point in time and involved in torture, I wouldn't bet any money on that, because I have no clue. Could it happen? Absolutely. Could it have not happened and it's all put together in some sort of Hollywood form? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But I'm just going to stick up for the one agent.
Okay.
I highly doubt.
That's fair.
I highly doubt.
And just one quick follow-up there. Is that a bias towards the fact that you worked with a lot of great people at the DEA and you're making that assumption? Or is it because you think that it it wouldn't have been possible for him to pull that off. Or
I
both.
think we have enough assets out there that we would have been able to figure out if he was corrupt before, during, or after that. Number one. Number two is, yes, I have worked with a lot of great people. And the idea of taking money in corruption versus having a colleague that you work for and responsible for brutally tortured and executed. I don't know if you know, when they kidnapped Kiki Camarena and beat the crap out of him and ultimately killed him that way, they didn't kill him by traditional means. They tortured him for days. There was a doctor that injected him with drugs that kept him awake so he wouldn't pass out. His last words were, "I need a doctor," number one. Number two is, remember I told you about that supervisor that was working undercover, the guy named Joe in Detroit, and I took over for him on the undercover deal? He was transferred to go work on that operation, which was called Operation Leyenda. He was friends with Kiki Camarena. And he was a fluent Spanish speaker, and they transferred Joe over there down towards the Guadalajara area to work on that investigation.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.